Hello, welcome to this special session from the SME experts here. I'm Dr. Meena from Art of Living Corporate Programs. I have been a volunteer with Art of Living and now also a corporate facilitator. And currently, I also support and work with Art of Living Corporate Programs. From the time the lockdown has started, what we have been doing as a small support gesture from our side is to support the corporate fraternity in the ways that we could do. So we started off with sending out some tips on how to handle their health and how to handle the family at the beginning. Then we also started with our expert speak series, which had certain sessions on how the mind and energy could be used to handle the current situation, not just at the domestic front, but also at the workspace. And we also ran some sessions on how, for example, sleep could in fact get a lot of energy into our system, and so we could handle whatever we are doing very well. And we had a very interesting session on Vegas Now. Once we are able to successfully open the Vegas Now, how we can think and we can be like a very, very successful leader. We had series of such expert speak sessions, and we then also launched a series called exclusive recharge, reaching out to the SMEs in terms of giving them the boost in the way they feel and shifting, or at least trying to shift their perspective from the outside negative environment to their own internal positive outlook. And with this hope, we thought today we will once again come to you with a session with our expert who could take us through what is there in the SMA industry, how we can now deal with it, and how we can actually look at this industry in the future. So with this now, I would like to introduce Mr. Raghunathan, who is an expert, as all of us would know, in the industry. He is the past president of AIMO, All India Manufacturers Organization, and he is also the board of trustees with EPFO, Employee Provident Fund Organization. And of course, he runs also, even now with all this, he still runs his own company too, a solar company. And his name somehow comes also as Mr. Raghunathan from the Solkar solar industry. And I believe he is very, very popularly known as MSME Raghu. So with this now, I think I really do not want to take a lot of this time from the session. I would bring in our other expert, Mr. Balasubramanian. Balasubramanian has decades of experience in the SME industry, and he is the chairman for Precision Group of Companies at Chennai, and also the secretary with the SIPCAT Sri Perumbudur, and he is also the secretary with the Chennai District Manufacturers Association. So welcome to you both, sir. And I know now all our audience are in the good hands for this session. Please do enlighten all of us as to how one could actually deal with this session. So may I start, Mr. Balasubramanian, to set the context and take us through Mr. Raghuraman into the session, please.
Welcome, Mr. Raghunathan.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, friends. Good evening, friends. MSME in India, next to agriculture, it is giving a highest employment provider in India. Unfortunately, MSME is continuously facing a lot of problem, and we have faced severe cyclones. We have faced flooding of Chennai in 2015, where most of the MSMEs are affected. But now, because of the corona pandemic problem, the world itself is now out of gear for the last 2 months. And the employment provider, MSME, is very much affected. And everybody is under a turmoil and facing a lot of challenges after the lockdown is lifted. How we have to restart the industry and resume our normal operations. So we are facing a lot of problem. So now I am going to ask Mr. Raghunathan, who is an expert and working for MSME for quite decades. And Mr. Raghunathan, the today's problem, last 2 months, MSME has no revenue and all the industries are fully closed. And the lockdown announced in the month of March 24th, which is the last week of the year ending, where all the people are expecting to dispatch the product, almost the whole month production was just kept in the factory itself. So absolutely there is no billing in the month of March as well as in the April and May. So last 2 months, whatever the little reserves they have, everybody has spent that for repaying the loan, for all the other expenses. And when the lockdown is lifted and when it is open, we are left with no cash balance in hand. But at the same time, we are facing a lot of problem in getting our receivables, because taking this problem as an advantage, or I don't know, all the receivables to the MSMEs are not at all coming. And at the same time, bankers also not able to help us, and severe cash crunch, cash liquidity problem in all the industries, where now we have to bring back the employees, we have to get the materials, and we had to spend a lot of money in the disinfection and the security angle, and giving PPEs to these employees, and more than anything else, bringing the employees from their places. It is a big challenge now. So how you think we can able to manage all these problems, this cash flow? To start with, I will stop with this, then I will go for the next question.
Good evening, Mr. Bala, friends, and Dr. Meena. I know it's a very tough time for an entrepreneur, but as a rightly, today we are talking on the behest of art of living. We all now need to know art of doing business now. Let's understand what we have gone through in the last 75 days is something which is new for the whole world. It's not easy, right? Suddenly something hits us. Even in the cyclone time, there were one section of the place which was affected, but the whole world was moving. Whereas today, the whole world has come to a standstill. And another fear has taken, apart from our livelihood and the economy, we are more now concerned about life as such. And 75 days is not a joke. Even after 4 days, when we go back to our office, we live with so much of backward. And 75 days without any unpreparedness, leaving and coming back home. We all came back home at 6 o'clock and listened at 8 o'clock and never went back again. And a place like Chennai yet to reopen to normalcy. And those who opened have ended up again. For example, the Hyundai factory, the Nokia factory at where Mr. Bala is the secretary of the association, where we had our own issue that COVID affected the employees. Now let's divide the problems. Obviously, you know, when I have decades of experience as an entrepreneur, Bala with about 4 decades, we are here to share with you more of positivity, more of strength to stay in such tough times. An entrepreneur is always a go-getter. An entrepreneur is always a risk-taker. An entrepreneur always faces challenges from any part of the direction it comes. This is one of a unique direction. Once you live through this, then you can face anything on this life. That's the way they look at it. Now, coming to the problems which we are going to have in front of us, we can divide the problem into 3 M's. The first M is money. The second M is manpower. The third M is material.
So as far as the manpower is concerned, the manpower, as you are telling,
yes,
it is a very important factor because most of the employees, that is especially migrant workers, has left the Chennai, has left Tamil Nadu, and also in all other cities. You might have seen in the last 15 days, almost lakhs and lakhs of people have returned to their native place. Similarly, the regular workers who are all residing in the Tamil Nadu also, they have all gone to the native place. Now the biggest problem is how to bring them back. That is the one thing. We cannot bring them all the workers 100%. Definitely there will be a shortage. So we are required to recruit new people, train them to the skill level required, and again put them into production. That is the another biggest challenge we are facing. The third problem is the material movement. I will come for the material, where the transport becomes a big problem. So we are not able to get the vehicles. Even the material is ready in Karnataka or Belgaum or in any other place. It is very difficult to bring the materials. So that smooth transportation is not happening. So all these problems now, all the industries are put on a tremendous pressure and worry and anxiety, and everybody is panic how to manage. So this is the whole problem. Can you throw some light on this, how to manage, sir?
No, when it comes to money, as you rightly, for an industry to run, one is your bank money, which is a debt which you must repay. The second is the advances which we get against a new order. The third is the dues which are paid up for the supplies which are already paid. Then the fourth one is the equity investments in the shareholding and things like that. And there is a fifth element, private loans and private creditors and things like that. A supplier giving you a credit for 30 days, 45 days, and getting the credit for the supplies. These are the ways in which we fund an organization to function. Now, today, in the last 75 days, we have now choked on all the credit. Expenditure on one side is continuous. When I say expenditure, we are talking about salary, we are talking about rental, we are talking about the electricity payment, we are talking about statutory payments, even though there may be a relief for some people, even though there may be a relief of period to pay, but it gets accumulated. You have to pay. One day you have to pay. That's a cause of worry. And this is a very, very tough situation. You normally, in business, you and I know that the discipline teaches us to fund. The discipline is never fund one project from the advance you got from another project. This is all rules. Never borrow money to pay for another debt. This is called disciplined way of running an enterprise. Today, unfortunately, we have to play not the book, play the problems what we face. And that's a very tough challenge, how much you can go away from the principled way of doing business. It's like, the last over, 4 balls, you have to score 15 runs. How do you score? You can't score by the book. You have to hit wherever the ball comes from and wherever it can cross the fence. And that's a situation where an entrepreneur is facing today. And you've got to be careful you don't lose the wicket. And that's very important. You still have to guard your wicket. You still have to remain as an entrepreneur. You only know one thing in your life, that is being an entrepreneur. If one business closes, you can only start another business. So why start another business when you can safeguard the present business? So either do or die, and either you do it now or you do it later. So that is my opinion as far as the money is concerned. So the banks are giving the money, but the takers are less now. People are afraid to take the money. Financial institutions are giving you EMIs, but they are discouraging you with the interest burden on it. It's a very calculated move so that everybody doesn't jump into it and get into a problem. And to some extent, the right move of tempting you, but at the same time cautioning you.
Yeah, you are very right, sir. Apart from this cash problem and money problem, the problem what we are facing now is to manage with the limited manpower availability in the industry. We have to meet the commitment of the customer, and we have to deliver the components required by the customer on time. Now today, because of the problem in the manpower, we had to recruit new people, we had to train them, we had to upskill them and put them on the production. Ultimately, what happening today, the employer, the entrepreneur is getting a heavy amount of pressure in all directions. At the same time, we are pressurizing the employees to take more responsibilities of multi-skilling because the people are not available in all our departments. So some department there is a shortage of manpower, so we are shifting the people from the other department, and they're finding it very difficult to cope up with the pressure. So ultimately, one side is the work pressure, and for the employer, the finance problem, and the other problem is his commitment to the bank and other payables. So all these problems now coupled together gives an enormous amount of pressure in each and every industry. And we were looking for some solutions how to manage the whole thing. Can you throw some light, sir?
Mr. Bala, the manpower today can be divided into white-collar employees, blue-collar employees, and brown-collar employees. The brown-collar employees are mostly unskilled laborers and unskilled people whom you need to have for running an enterprise, which was to some extent predominantly was managed by the migrant labor, intra-migrant or interstate migrant. Now, most of the units are today not functioning 100% allowed manpower. For example, in Chennai, we still suffer with the COVID is not over. We are not full near normalcy. We are only unwinding the lockdown period. So we are not yet reached normalcy at all. So this effect of the shortage of the labor is still at this moment is not faced fully. The problem is there, but it is not faced fully now. Number one. Number two is all of us in the month of March we had to execute, which we were not able to complete. So those who opened now are already having certain orders in hand, and that has to be executed. But the fresh businesses has come to a standstill at the moment. So today, if I recruit somebody just to bridge the gap, I'm not too sure whether we will be able to continuously do the job. After 1 month, when I execute the pending orders, if I don't have any fresh orders, that's another concern. And the third aspect is you can't bring people just like that, because we don't know where they are coming, COVID affected area. For example, in my own company, I have some of my managers who have gone outside Chennai to their home place 60 days back or 15 days back. Now they are not able to return back. Now some of the people have gone outside Chennai, and even within Chennai, some of them are under the confinement streets. They are not able to come to the work, and we don't want to force them. Nobody should be forced and compelled to come to the work, because so far we have only survived by safeguarding the interest of the life. In the sake of preventing from livelihood death, we cannot give the compromise to the life. So we have multiple challenges in front of us as an entrepreneur. Safeguarding our health first, second, our dependent health next, and third, in the interest of our customers next, then in the interest of our bankers who have lent us, then above all the investors who have invested in our company. There are several headaches and pain points which are there. And I always advise an entrepreneur, only when there is a wall, you can paint. And for a company, the entrepreneur is a wall. He must look after himself first. Don't be in a hurry. Don't just like that jump into the water. First safeguard your interest. If you are protected, you can protect multiple. Now the problems is not yet magnified. You know what I mean? It is yet to come. That is what I would like to tell the people. What you have faced is not even 25% of the problem you are likely to face in the coming days. But at the end of it is what will bring you out in the most successful manner in your life. That is very important. I would like to more address along with Mr. Bala in educating you how you can cope up in these times. Now we have discussed the problem. Yes, there is a material problem. There is a raw materials are not available in the market. There are issues connected with the market. And secondly, there are issues which are going to be faced. The material demand, cash flows, loans, manpower, thing you will face. And we also don't know whether the chemicals are in good condition. Have we not seen the big industry like in Isaac, there was a poisonous gas emission? We have to be careful. There was a boiler burst at NLC. So we need to be very careful in ensuring that the machines are functioning, raw materials are available, manpower is available, cash flow is available for us to go, and everything we have to now see how it is going on. That is my concern now. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I think there is a bad connection and we lost Bala sir, but I'm sure he will be back. But in the meantime, maybe we can continue with our discussion. So I do know that so far we have been talking about different issues that currently the SME industry is undergoing. Okay, so from now on, let's look at the future part of it. Yeah, what do you think one should be careful of in actually getting into the future with an absolutely manageable and with smiles on not only the employees faces but also on the employers faces? How do you think we can make this happen?
Good, thank you, Mina. My request to the entrepreneur is most of us are not born with money to be in business. Most of us are in business because of our passion, vision, and the goal and the ambition. There are certain sayings which has been said by forefathers in the past, which are very important for you to remember right now. And that will help you to face the life. The saying is, when the going is tough, the tough gets going. Winners don't quit. Quitters never win. When one door closes, 100 doors open. And your competition is always welcome because it is only your competitor who makes you competitive. Any winning which is unfought war never gives you a happiness. So remember all these sayings. These are all very important sayings for you to face tough times. And my only concern is, well, I have said to you on one side that the tough days are yet to come. That means you have a long way to go, India, and you have to be having energies. Never look back. When you are climbing the hill, there used to be a saying, never look back. Always have the goal. And now it is very important for you to reinvent yourself. Now, I would tell the entrepreneur story, and that will make you understand the need of it. In my opinion, Mr. Bala will agree, hereafter, when we become normal, we are not going to realize the same sales price we used to get before COVID time. Suppose if I was selling my product for 100 rupees, hereafter, I may get only 70 rupees as a realizable value. Because people will say, take it or leave it. Now, if I want to make profit, then I have to bring in additional features in my product. For example, I used to make a solar lamp. The function of the solar lamp is to give a light. Now, I will not be able to sell hereafter only a solar lamp and charge the same sales and making the same profit. Now I have to introduce a feature in it for charging a mobile phone, a small fan in it. So I have to bring multiple usages in my product for which I will get a better sale price realization or a profitability. Take for example, the fundamental need of the mobile phone is only speaking. But today, no mobile phone is sold for just speaking. It is sold for their camera function. It is sold for the speed in which it can access data. And it is multiple usages, which is what markets the product. I am telling you, entrepreneurs, please invent yourself to make the product with multiple features. The second point, if you are making the product in the same way as you were doing earlier, then at 70 rupees value, you will make only losses. So you have to reinvent your manufacturing process. In the sense, modernization has to step in. You have to depend on latest technology of manufacturing, methodology of manufacturing, scaling, and everything you have to do. You cannot do only a hereafter. Then there is a third aspect, which is called digitalization. And you have to have a website. You have to look at market beyond your local market people. So you have to go global. You have to use digital platforms to sell yourself. Then there is a fourth one called innovation. You have to be innovative in hiring people also, in giving credits to your customers. There used to be a season time when a 3D television was introduced. Within 3 months, they did a business of close to 200 crores in the country, when there was not even a single channel which was airing the 3D program. How did they do it? Because without 1 rupee from your hand, you can go, and before even you go back to your house, the TV will come to your house. Financing models. Now you add up this modernization and optimizations, innovations, digitalization. You get the word called MODI, M-O-D-I. Now, if the industries hereafter, they don't modify themselves, it will not be possible for them to survive. That is the concern for me. And that is what I would like you people to use this phase of idleness. I don't call it idleness. This is a phase God has given you to look within you, to look within your business models, to look within the market segments which you have not tapped. Like the saying goes, when there is a glass of water with half water, some looks at it as it is half empty, some looks at it as a half full. Today, you look at it only in an optimistic manner. Today, you have to fight life. Nobody will come to your rescue. I am telling you, the very word Atmanirbhar is mentioned only. Help yourself. First, help yourself. Learn to be standing on your feet. Now you have to survive, you have to grow, you have to fight, you have to look after, and that will give you the enormous happiness. I'm telling you, I can openly tell you, Meena, in 35 years of entrepreneurship, I have carried only one business card, which is my solar company. But this company, 3 times I was close to bankruptcy. I have seen what is possession notice. I have seen what is advertisement in the newspaper where my house was auctioned for sale with my father and mother inside my house. I have seen. I went near the bankruptcy. Finally, who never left me? My team of people. The team of the people whom I have with me are the ones, my family, the team of the people, my good friends, and my customers were the people who made us continue to fight. And the disciplined lifestyle what I had. I never cheated. I never did anything which was against the principled way of doing. I went through the problem because of external resources. In the sense, I make some business decision which was not timely right, it was not well done at the right time, and lack of execution, everything. But I paid a price. But I rebound. I refinance myself, and I relooked at myself. The dog licks its own wound, and entrepreneur has no choice. But don't blame anybody. Blame yourself. There used to be a saying: the worst customer for you is the best teacher. I will never forget. I will never forget that word, because in my life, I still remember only 5 to 6 customers because they were very worst. But they taught me everything in my life. They taught me everything in my life. I can still remember in 1987, when I was doing the first solar water heating system in a canteen. One day at 6 o'clock in the evening, the canteen manager who called me to the site and trusted me fully. The reason was the manhole was not closed. So the crows were sitting and the crow was entering into my solar tank.
Mr.
It taught me a
Raghu.
lesson.
Yeah, so Mr. Raghu, I have to here come in and really say something, because you touched on one of the most beautiful points that not many would actually agree on. They say the worst customers, they say all the time, they are so bad. Oh God, how can I handle them? I feel like running away from the place. There are people actually who even quit their jobs because the customers are not so good, or rather they are so strict. But I, coming from the service industry, I completely accept what you say. We used to have US FDA visiting us for the investigations, and you cannot imagine anybody else, as tough as them. The kind of investigation they do before they actually certify the companies, it's so strict that, under the pressure, with the, so much of, kind of negative feeling, but under the pressure, suddenly we see that there is so much of energy within people. They start working, and then the spirit catches on, and there is suddenly so much of positivity at the end of it. So I really like when you said, the strict customers are the ones who have taught us what we are now today. Absolutely, I completely agree with you, Mr. Raghu.
Yes, Meena, it is not easy. Life is not easy. If running a business was the easiest in the life and everybody is assured of a profit, nobody would be working. There would be no employees. So let's
Absolutely.
understand that. So there is when you enter the entrepreneurship, you enter where you are expected to have a turbulent ride, and you are expected to have a roller coaster life, and you are expected to see rags to riches and riches to rags. You are expected to see bad customer becoming a good customer becoming a bad customer. You are expected to see betrayers as well as people who clap in front of you. You would have gone through entire things in your life, and that is part of your life, and you must enjoy. And the smile is the only thing what you carry with you, which makes you feel lighter and better. Even today, if the smile is not there in my face, we are dead. As long
Absolutely.
as the smile is there in our face, we can face anything in our life. Even today, we wake up in the morning, we play the card. So please give me as many problems as possible today. But we will ended up saying, give me the strength to solve it. Give me the strength to not to lose my principled life, because there are always
So,
shortcuts in life.
yes. So
See,
well said,
today,
Mr. Raghu. Now, can I ask our Mr. Balakrishnan, Balasubramanian, because he is back now with us. So we were discussing about how can we turn the current negative, disturbed situation into a positive one for the future. So our Mr. Raghunathan has given really good incidents and absolutely good ways of looking at this aspect. And would you want to add on to this?
see, whatever not available we have so far discussed, that is cash flow is not there, adequate manpower is not there, so the customer pressure is there. So all these things we have to live with this. But how to manage the whole thing, one has to build up the confidence and courage to face the problem. That is a major thing what each and everyone has to now train ourselves, for which we require some sort of external support, because all the entrepreneurs are not fully aware of their own capacity and their own inborn strength. So what we require is the physical strength as well as the mental strength, and to courage to face the problem. For that, clarity of mind should be there. So there, what I am expecting, some sort of inspiration should come from outside. That way, we are expecting whether art of living can give us such inspirations, and some innovative ideas how to face the situation. That is the expectation from the MSMEs entrepreneurs now.
Very good. Thank you so much, sir. You are actually asking the absolutely the right question right now. But I would like to park it for now and maybe ask Raghunathan, sir, if he would like to add as well anything.
Very simple, the business ideas must come from within. First point. Like Mr. Bala says, external factors can help you stand straight. But walking, they can take the horse to the pond, but you can't make the horse drink the water.
Yes.
So the same way, authors can make the entrepreneurs stand straight. But to walk, it is always from the entrepreneur, he has to walk. Now, as I again told you, this country is blessed in many angles. Not many times we realize the blessings what we have around us. For example, I'm telling you, we have about 11,500 engineering colleges in India. And we have about 450,000 PhDs who are employed as a professor or teaching faculty in India. We have not put them to the use for the MSMEs.
Yes.
This is probably the time. With all this thinking only, the government of India has, and AICTA as well as in Niti Aayog, they created innovation centers in the last 2 years. Recently they inaugurated the 1,000th innovation center. Niti Aayog created it. What does the innovation centers do? They take an idea, convert an idea into a product. So today, the educational institutions joining hands with industries is going to be predominantly seen in the coming days. Then the second one is those who are retired from industries today with good health. Today we have close to about 20 lakhs of such people in this country. And if only we can convert them into mentors, mentor a student, mentor an entrepreneur, mentor an idea, mentor an institution. So today what we need is a huge amount of mentorship driven. Now people should, who are blessed by God more than what they have, must be now giving it for others' sake. That is very important now for every one of us to look at ourselves and see what way I can contribute. And believe me, in the 75 days of the COVID time, I have seen this largely happening. I know many people who said, I have told my servant maid not to come, but make sure that the salaries are sent to her. I have told my driver not to come, make sure the salaries are given to him. I have made sure my staffs are not coming, but their salaries are paid. Whether I eat or not, I make sure others eat around me. This has come very largely in the last 75 days. That is the positive side of COVID. Togetherness, binding, self-giving to others, they all have come. I think Art of Living must lead now a mentorship program in this country. Mentorship in a big way, not in a small way. Those who can pass on their knowledge to those who need it badly, holding, carrying them, and selflessly, that is very important for this country. Third one, which I will look at is, as rightly said, India can be a solution provider for the world. We are already a knowledge-based world. Now we will become manufacturing base for the world. Well, fine, some law has to be tweaked, some changes in policy has to come, but nothing can be changed overnight. There's always two sides of the coin. It's like a balloon. I squeeze one side, it will swell on the other side. If some states relax the labor law, then other people will definitely find fault with it. So we have to find the via media. We should not hurt anybody. We should not antagonize anybody. We should not feel that we are doing wrong things. We must carry the people along with us. I think that is what our Prime Minister is doing now, carrying the people along with us. Well, there will be filtrages, there will be some shots and falls, there will be some misses and gains, there will be some priorities and non-priorities. Everybody need not function in the same way.
Sure.
Not all the actions what I do.
Certainly.
I'm more
Yeah.
criticized than the compliment. So all what you do is you do your best. You do truthfully your best. You do what your conscience writes you, and you care for the society, care for the people around you, care for your parents, care for your children. That is what we live. I can share with you as well as with the audiences. I have two daughters. What is the use of my money? Today, if I ask my daughter, can I buy you this? Their answer is, I don't need anything. I can afford it myself. Keep me with you. I know
Sure.
many
Yeah.
people feel that in my shoes. That is the way the life is. We are self-made people. India is so blessed to have such people. We have yet to capitalize. COVID will make us capitalize this. That is my view.
Very, very well said, sir. So, one question that has come up here is we have been talking generally about the SME industry. So, is it possible for us to kind of categorize or segment these industries and see which one would do better or in relative to each other? May I first ask Bala sir his opinion, and then we will have yours, sir, Raghunathan sir.
Yeah, the aftermath of COVID has thrown out of gear very well, the airlines, number one, and hospitality industries, tourists, travel agents and tour operators, and also the general malls, cinemas, everywhere, no operations. That is all worst hit, I can say. The least hits are the retail, small shops, pharma, healthcare, and the hospitals, telecommunication, agriculture, of course. The tractor industry is doing well, but at the same time, the automobile industry is not doing well. So there is a big gap. Food processing, provision stores, all those things is okay. So the medium level, we are yet to automobile has to yet to gain the momentum because we are all waiting. Most of the 70% of the ancillaries, MSMEs are all depending on automobile, and automobile, no, it is yet to pick up. So we are all very anxiously and curiously looking of the OEMs about their order schedules and delivery because we have already made the things ready in the month of March, and subsequently in the last 15 days also we have built up the inventory, and we are practically looking for when they will clear our inventories. That is the other major problem. And the construction and consumer logistics, everything will pick up once this momentum starts. Yeah. So now we have discussed with so many other problems, and Raghunathan is kind enough to giving a lot of encouraging words. And with all that, what I require really looking at is structured solutions. How to face the problem. We are almost in the war field. So here, yes, courage is very much important. At the same time, focused work also it is very much required, and we had to get a very good ideas, some innovative ideas we have to take by managing the people, managing the limited resources available, and all those things is very much required, Dr. Mira. So what I want is, can you throw some lights? What is the solution to come out of this stress?
Mr. Bala, you rightly categorize the industry. I thought all industries will bounce back. All industries will bounce back. The period of bouncing back only will be changed. Now, when you were not online, unfortunately, I did mention about the factors which the fundamental was looked at, especially what should make them modify themselves. And I don't want to repeat it right now. But at the same time, what I would like to tell the audience is, any sector what you are in will definitely return back to normalcy, either 3 months, 2 years. No doubt about it. There is a saying, if I want to cross a river from one side to the other side, I should first know the depth of the water. If the depth of the water is just 5 feet, I can walk it over. If the depth is 10 feet, I can swim it over. If the depth is 20 feet, I can probably take a boat and cross it. If the depth is 200 feet, I need a ship to cross it. Today, the depth of the water, as far as COVID's damage is concerned, is yet to be. So at the moment, all what we should do is don't try to cross the water without knowing the depth. This is a time where you should only have short-term solutions to whatever your needs are, to keep the nose above the water, float, keep the hope alive, and don't do anything in a hurry-burry manner. I think that is very, very important aspect. Don't ever, you are not an astrologer, you are not a predictor, you are only a strategist. A doctor can perform an operation not in a virtual manner. It can only be done when the patient is on the bed in front of you. So this is not a wishful thinking. This is not a sentimental thinking process. This is not X went through this, so I will also go through this, or Y went through this, I also will go through this. There is no one formula for all the entrepreneurs. There will be different for different people at different locations. Today morning, I shared one information where the Fortune 500, Fortune magazine had come out with a survey result in America, where they had said, most of the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies have said 2022 will be a normalcy return for their industries. I'm talking about 18 months from now. See, we are a lot better, no? Because we have our own consumptions locally, no? So always there is a look at the positive side of it. Keep yourself motivated, keep yourself fully charged, and in my opinion, in the next 6 months to 1 year, lot of mergers and acquisitions will happen. Lot of entrepreneurs will join hands together and make it under one brand and one company and make it bigger. If Raghu is making 2,000 solar lamps, if Bala is making 2,000 solar lamps, we will probably join hands and call ourselves Raghu Bala Enterprises and make 4,000 lamps under one shoes. And Bala will look after some areas, Raghu will look after some areas, and both of us will make profits. Otherwise, both of us will make losses. So today, the situation will become, it will be of that nature. Like, you know, about 4 or 5 years back, Bangalore showed the way for shared offices. Bombay showed a way. I used to, you know, in Mumbai or in those days of Bombay, about 15 years back, 20 years back, the offices were rented out on 8-hour basis. So morning 6 o'clock for 8 hours, there will be one office, then another one office, then there will be a third office. So that's how. So today the shared manufacturing facilities will come, shared infrastructure will come. Cost has to be kept at lowest level. The fixed cost has to be pruned down. I'm telling the working people also, please learn. You have to be a multitasking. Hereafter, gone will be the days where you will be paid a monthly salary for one activity. Today, for example, if I am having an accounts in my company, I will pay somebody only for the number of hours they come to my place for data entry, because I would have gone in for digitalization. So people must remain multitasking. People must be flexible to work from anywhere. People must have infrastructure to perform themselves. In the sense, you will have your own calibrator, your own computer laptop, your own place to work from. All this will set in. The entire thought process will go through a change. Mindset will go through the change. Virtual reality will come into the picture. I think these are all success fees will be paid. Everybody will be working on, I deliver and I charge my fees. No delivery, no charges. That will come. No free lunch for anybody, no subsidy for anybody. I think people's mindset will change, and our youth is very empowered. I have seen people in the younger days, today's younger generation is highly competitive. They do multitasking. Does a messaging without even looking at the phone by talking to me and watching a TV. She does multitasking from the youngest age. My granddaughter today does multitasking without even they are being told. So, in my opinion, people will have to gear up themselves. Employees will gear up, employers will gear up, and all sorts of renovations will come, and we'll have to rebuild India to the next generation.
Great. So thank you really so much. I think it's not really very normal for two experts talking about the same subject and still leaving people like me and the audience in absolute wonderment. You know, both of you I found as an entrepreneurs and nearly 30, 40 years, and it's so amazing to see the kind of positive outlook that you have. It's I'm completely now left in that space of wonderment. I find it really difficult to say even anything, and coming from art of living, I think the only thing I can now say is this is exactly what we do also in art of living, and I'm so very delighted that both of you have come to the same point at the end, saying whatever is the outside world doesn't matter. There is uncertainty, there is chaos, there is absolutely overwhelming situation outside, but how one could handle these situations, come out of it and go into absolutely calm, peaceful and yet dynamic state. How can we do this? If this is the question, just not from the experts but I'm sure also from the audience, let's maybe take a minute and a half to go through the particular video that I would like to show to you, and then we can talk a little bit more also about this. Yeah, is it okay, sir? Sir, thank you so much for joining, and please be at the backstage and watch the video for yourself too. Thank you. Harish, can we have the video on, please?
Hi, this is Jagdishan, CEO of Unitech Plasto Components Private Limited. It has been 2 decades since we started our firm. We have around 400 employees with a turnover of 150 crore. In our journey, we too had to include with mental science. During that time, I came across opportunity program, which really gave me a tremendous transformation personally and professionally. Now I am able to take some decisions, clarity in thought process. I'm able to interact with my employees in a better way than how it was. More importantly, I'm able to stay motivated with a positive attitude. This made me to impart some suitable training from AOL for my employees also, which really gave an excellent result from my employee side. So they stay more focused in achieving their targets. This program helped in improving employer-employee relationship as well. With this result, I wish my peers and friends also must experience this positive transformation in their official and personal life as well.
Friends, if you have watched the video and you really wonder how one could get into that state, there is something that we are about to do. It's not too far. It's actually starting on 18th of June. Maybe I can show you the details right now on the screen too. Harish, can we have this, please? So as you will see very soon on the screen now, what we are going to do is do this 4 days program where we will learn so much more about how we can have high energy and how we can actually deal with our mind irrespective of what is happening outside. So as both the experts said, the key is in actually dealing with ourselves. And as Mr. Raghunathan very specifically said, it is all about innovation. How would one now innovate into doing things differently and do the things differently as well and use a different process to arrive at finally the same product? If this is the case, how can we actually handle this innovation without having a clear mind? So friends, this is an opportunity for us to really get into the space of absolute innovation by getting into intuition. And of course, this is only possible when we start really breathing, and this is what we are doing. By the way, we also have the panel of experts there to take us through, all kinds of situations that we face, and the answers to that would be available. And the icing on the cake would be the founder of Art of Living, Shri Ravi Shankar, would also be there to talk to us, to tell us how we can deal with the situation. So please register right away, and we are all waiting to see you there in the program. And thank you so much, Mr. Raghunathan and Mr. Balasubramanian, for taking us through this journey today of the SMEs from the very, very negative and dark looking right now to absolutely brighter looking tomorrow. We all really wait to see India growing, as you said, and let India fly in the high skies. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, friends, for also joining us. And I hope you enjoyed and you also got the information that you wanted. Let's all together succeed in what we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Meena, there are some questions which I see here. Should I answer that?
Yes,
or
please.
Should we address that?
I think we have a couple of minutes more.
I
You
see
could
a couple
do that.
of questions. Okay, there is, I
Yes,
see
we
some
have 4
question.
minutes, please.
Yeah, I see a question which is addressed to Mr. Singh, and he is asking about the micro enterprises being moved away. Okay,
Yes.
now there is a reclassification by Government of India where the MSMEs have been reclassified. This has resulted in a 10 lakh a year turnover guy coming on par as an MSME with 250 crore turnover. So we are feeling that the government should now bifurcate micro enterprises in a separate manner. Because in our opinion, about 80% of the industries in this country would fall under the micro industries, and the micro must be separated out separately. And the SME, which is small and medium enterprises, must be handled separately. That is a view of mine, and that is what we have been requesting the Government of India also to consider, that let micro industries and enterprises be handled separately, and the SMEs being handled separately, and that would do good for the people to grow, so that we will gradually take them off. And Mr. Bala, there are some questions for you. I think you are the best person to answer. I always admire your entrepreneurial abilities. One has to learn from people like Mr. Bala. He has an ocean of experience behind him, that too in an industry which is dependent on a parent industry's growth.
Added to this, Mr. Raghunathan, these micro industries, the major thing is the self-employed people. So he is the owner and he is doing all the job with about 2 or 3, maximum 10 employees, not more than that. Micro industries has to be separately looked after, because in the last 2 years, 2 months of lockdown, and now after reopening, they are really literally feeling very bad how to manage the whole thing. So some sort of government schemes, some subsidies they are expecting, and hope the government will also consider in the near future.
Very good. Yeah, I don't see much other questions to be answered. I think we can wind it up. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.